the humble kingdom. When the Son of Man comes in his glory, and all the holy angels with him, then he will sit on the throne of his glory. Matthew 25, verse 31. Alexander the Great's legendary exploits earned him a place in both the world's history books and even before he was born in Daniel's prophecy. Alexander fancied himself to be a continuation of the ancient age of heroes, even keeping a copy of Homer's Iliad by his bed as he slept. He believed he was the reincarnation of Achilles, the great hero of the Trojan War, even traveling to Troy to make a sacrifice to Athena, lay a wreath at Achilles' grave, and pick up some ancient Trojan armor for good luck. Historians suspect that Alexander's breathtaking expansion across the ancient world was more a matter of adventure than conquest. And once he managed to defeat the Persians, he claimed for himself the lofty role of a Persian king. The Persians practiced proskynesis, which meant that subjects had to treat the king as a god, referring to him as King of Kings, and bowing and scraping in his presence. In a wildly unpopular move, Alexander asked for the same treatment from his men. In time, he came to consider himself to be the son of Zeus Ammon, a kind of hybrid supreme god stylized after the Greek god Zeus and the Egyptian god Ammon, or Amun, A-M-U-N, which meant that Alexander now went by two titles that Christians reserve for Christ, which is King of Kings and the Son of God. Of course, it ended badly for Alexander. By the time his exhausted men reached India, they pushed back against Alexander's delusions of grandeur and insisted on returning home. As they traveled back, the great conqueror became increasingly unhinged, behaving erratically and displaying signs of paranoia. When they reached Babylon, he intended to move south and conquer Arabia, but his lifestyle finally caught up with him. Weakened by injuries, an insatiable appetite for liquor, and possibly malaria, he died at 33 years of age. So it goes with the empires of men, which stand in stark contrast to the kingdom of God. Christ, who truly is King of Kings and Lord of Lords, in addition to being the Son of God, did not exalt himself, but took the path of humility. And his kingdom will ultimately replace Alexander's and every other kingdom mentioned by Daniel. The ambitions of men always fizzle out and end in disgrace, but the humility of Christ ends with a kingdom that will be everlasting.